welcome back. This is season 1, episode 3. Have you ever tried drinking a juice made out of pure vegetable? Well, in the beginning of my video, I showed you how you can make celery juice, and it only took like 5 minutes. So refreshing. Celery juice, or also known as celery water, is rich in vitamin K, C, and E. And it also has a ton of calcium. Because celery water has a ton of calcium, it strengthens our bones. So, if you didn't know, celery water is actually a natural sunscreen. However, it works from the inside out. Celery water is also known to reduce fat, and it also reduces bloating. Another cool thing that I like to do when I'm done using a certain vegetable is I like to save the end piece that I cut off. Check out Dave's part of branches to find out more about gardening at home. For the rest of this video, I will be showing some on-the-go snacks that I feel like most people should have on hand, and I will be sharing my favorite breakfast items and a little bit about herbs. The first snack that I usually typically like to have on hand is something grainy. I feel like it's more filling when I'm on the go. So this is the off-brand of I think it's Nutri-Grain brand. It's green and it has orange on it. It's just a crunchy granola bar. I typically like to eat these if I'm out or if I know I'm going to be out. I just like stick it in my purse and I have it for when I kind of am feeling hungry, but I don't want to spend money on fast food. Another on-hand snack, you saw something like this in my last video. It is an apple. I typically like the Pink Lady apples or the Fuji apples. The final two on-the-go snacks that I would like to present today can also be found in my favorite breakfast. I typically like to eat oatmeal for breakfast, and I use the steel cut or rolled oats. They're the more natural version, I guess, not the instant oats. When you use that kind of oatmeal rather than the flavored peach or blueberry or banana oatmeal, it can be less flavorful. And so I like to add raisins into my oatmeal typically every morning because they add sweetness, or you can use craisins. I love both. It just depends on the day which one I'm using. And then I also like to add nuts. And so maybe I might not add almonds to my oatmeal, but most days I am adding some kind of nut like a pecan or a walnut. So here is just a little sample of the oatmeal breakfast I typically am having. Maybe not in this portion, but I do like to be aware of the portions that I am eating. I typically like to make this kind of in bulk so I don't have to make it every morning, and I just store it in a Tupperware container so that I can have it for the next day or the next couple of days. Another ingredient that I love to put in my oatmeal is chia seed. And so chia seeds are super high in omega-3 fatty acids that are very necessary for our bodies. I just like them. So if you don't cook them as you heat your oatmeal, they're going to be kind of hard. But if you do cook them as you heat your oatmeal, they will absorb some of that liquid, expand, and become a little bit more mucousy around the edges. And so the next item that I would like to present to you are legumes. I love beans. As my dad says, beans are a superfood. They're superfood. They contain so many important and vital nutrients and minerals and just like things we need for our bodies. Eat beans, okay? If you don't eat anything else, eat beans and rice. This will sustain you like crazy. My favorite beans are lentil beans, and so that's why I have this kind here with me today. And so once my beans are nearly done cooking, or sometimes even done cooking, I like to season with herbs. And so I wanted to mention a little bit about herbs. Whenever we season our food, what do you put on it? Herbs. Herbs are so full of nutrients and healthy things for our body. And so I recommend using herbs as often as possible. Like on every savory dish, just season it with herbs. In my next video, I may share a little bit more about the importance of herbs in our diet. My final two things that I would like to show you are things that I use for tea. Tea is just a regular part of my life nowadays. So my favorite tea at the moment is black seed and elderberry tea. Here are a few of the elderberry that they're dried elderberries, and then those there are the black seeds. They're really small. They're black cumin seeds. I am typically liking to drink this tea around this season, springtime, because these ingredients are really good for preventing the cold and flu. Black cumin seeds are packed and loaded down with antioxidants. They also help to lower cholesterol, which is basically the buildup of fat, the plaquey fat in our veins and arteries. Black cumin seeds are known to reduce the inflammation that causes arthritis, joint pain, heart disease, even brain and spinal inflammation in the body. These seeds also protect our liver, and they help with blood regulation. So I mentioned diabetes previously. The black cumin seeds can regulate someone's blood who has diabetes, and then they would be able to be free from their diabetes medication and one day also be free from that disease. This is a dried elderberry. Elderberries, when dried, are really good just to steep in your tea. I take about a teaspoon, put it in some hot water with the black cumin seeds, let it steep for a certain amount of time to make sure that I'm getting all of that antioxidant, all of those antioxidant properties in the liquid that I'm drinking. And so elderberries are good for boosting your immune system. I said I like to drink this tea around this springtime because the cold and flu is out here, but when I'm drinking this tea, it helps to reduce the levels of just sickness or mucus that's in my body. Finally, if you have asthma or if you have allergies, elderberry also helps to alleviate those symptoms. The elderberry syrup is more potent than just drinking this in tea, and so I'll give you a recipe really quick on how to make elderberry syrup at home so you don't have to buy it from someone else. Take 2 cups of the berries, put them in a pot, then take 4 cups of water, put it in the same pot. Allow it to boil 35 minutes, remove it from the heat. After it's cooled for about an hour, you can strain it. And after you strain it, allow this mixture to still sit for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And then you can stir in 1 full cup of honey. And you can store this in your refrigerator for up to 3 whole months. I simply want to add, as I close the video, through all of my careful research, I've found that any green vegetable does powerful things to the human body. I would challenge you to search up a recipe on how to use a vegetable and then use that recipe. Your body will thank you for it. I promise. Come back next week to find out what these seeds are and why I put them in everything I drink.